January is already wrapping up, so how are your New Year's resolutions holding up? If they're going great, that's awesome. But if you're like most people, chances are your New Year's resolutions aren't going so well. In this video, I want to go over some reasons why you may not have been able to stick to your resolutions, and some tips on how to better approach goal setting in general. Tip number 1. Find your why. One of the main problems with New Year's resolutions is that it is based on a temporary spark of motivation. Setting New Year's resolutions is always a fun cultural activity that may get us to start making a change in our life. What that typically results in are resolutions that may not be thought through, are based on some arbitrary notion of what would be good for us, and are motivated by excitement from a cultural phenomenon. If these are the conditions of your goals, then your motivation and commitment to these goals will likely not be sustainable. What we want to do instead is root our goals and resolutions in our personal values. Values are what you find important in your life and your identity, and they will provide more motivational power than any whimsical desires. So when you are setting your resolutions or goals, ask yourself why this particular goal is important to you. How will this benefit you or the people you care about? For example, instead of wanting to work out more because it's trendy or because you want to look good, maybe consider that exercising greatly benefits your health, will allow you to do all kinds of fun experiences, and will give you more quality time with your family and friends through old age. Real change will come from things that are deeply important to you and what you want from this life. Tip number 2. You don't have to do it alone. A lot of times, we stubbornly feel like we have to do things on our own, and that we are weak when we have to rely on others for help. There is a strength and progress that can be gained from that perspective, but that can also cause us to struggle unnecessarily. Humans are social creatures, and there are lots of benefits and strengths that are gained from a humble attitude of seeking help and forgiveness from others and ourselves. So don't be afraid to ask friends, family, or coaches to help keep you accountable with your resolutions. Let them support you during the tougher times and when you're struggling to find motivation. Not only that, actually celebrate with them when you overcome those challenges or hit a milestone, no matter how small it might be. If you don't have the strength to do something alone, maybe a small team will get you to where you want to go. And who knows, you might be helping someone else make a meaningful change in their life at the same time. And tip number 3. Ditch the all or nothing mentality. One of the worst things we can do to ourselves is dichotomize things that are more of a spectrum than a dichotomy. Can or cannot, succeed or fail, like or dislike. These words do not encourage the growth from one end of the spectrum to the other. If you break one of your New Year's resolution streaks, it's easy to feel like you failed completely, cause you to give up, and maybe you think about trying next year. This mentality disregards the amazing progress you've made so far and gives you zero chance of making that positive change in your life. So if your goals or resolutions are actually important to you, that's more than enough reason to get back up and try again, regardless of what day it is, what your streak was, or what your goal is. Your job is not to transform your life within a random time frame. Your job isn't even to complete this goal or resolution. Your only job is to make a decision today to act in accordance with your values. Change only happens in the present moment. Do what matters to you in the here and now.